for asking.
Betty, it's so
Thank
good to have you
so
here. Thanks for
good to
doing
be-
this.
Well, thanks for asking me. My goodness, and I can just sit here and revel in Alan Ludden. I like that.
Okay, and then we're going to revel in you as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, let's start.
I haven't been reveled in so long.
I know, Betty, you can still fire it up, so it's okay. It's all right. The fire's still burning, Betty. Okay. Now, you and Alan actually first met on Password. Is that correct?
Yes, I did the third Password that was on the air in 1961.
Right.
And I lived in Los Angeles, but I was back there for the Jack Parr show. So they asked me to do Password, and of course I fell in love with the game, and we had a good time. So then they asked me back a couple more times, and it was sort of love at first sight with the game. But Bob Stewart, who created the game in his head, he made it up, bless his heart, and he said that after the first show, Alan went back to him. He said, "I'm going to marry that woman," and he said, "Oh, sure you are, Alan, sure." And by George, he was a good salesman.
Yeah, but we hear, well, I like this, that you played hard to get. Is it true that he actually proposed more than once?
Oh, I wasn't playing hard to get. I had no intent. I had been married, and it didn't work, and never again was I going to get married. Particularly would I ever move from California to New York, which is where he lived. Absolutely no way. Mm-hmm. Well, we did summer stock together, and we did a few things like that together, and every time he wouldn't say hello or good morning, he'd say, "Will you marry me?"
He'd call you on the phone?
Oh, every night. When I was in California and he was in New York, every night he'd call me at 11 o'clock at night. So finally one time it was Easter, and he sent me this beautiful stuffed rabbit with gold and diamond and sapphire earrings on it. So that night when the phone rang, I didn't say hello, I said yes. And he would tell everybody from then on, it wasn't those gorgeous earrings, it was that damn stuffed rabbit that she sent me.
That's great.
We put together a montage of Alan working on Password. Let's just take a look at this for a second and see him work, okay?
Oh, I'd love to.
All right.
The name of your game is Password.
We really started this whole game in 1961.
This is a very auspicious occasion for us. And will you come back too sometime, Betty?
Well, you mean to the house or here?
No, any place. You play delightfully, and it's good to have you here.
At the house or here?
A little kindness from person to person is better than a vast love for all mankind.
Oh,
Think about it.
God.
See you tomorrow.
What do you think when you see that, Betty?
I tell you what, you'd think I'd get used to it, but something happens in here. It's just a lovely, lovely. He was a pretty good-looking fella.
Yeah, not bad. Easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and he never would let them dress him. He always had to. He loved clothes, so he would make sure that he would buy all the clothes. It was always an excuse to buy a new jacket or new slacks or something.
He really took it very seriously, didn't he? The game.
Oh, very seriously, but it didn't keep him from. I loved when somebody would give a real dumb clue, you know, and he didn't do anything except he'd just look out at the audience with a little. Sure enough, they got the message.
We are so thrilled that you are here with us today. You're going to stay a little longer, right?
Well, if I'm not overstaying my welcome, I'd love it. Can I
Oh
see
no,
more
you're not
of Alan?
overstaying. All right, Betty's going to stay. Oh, we have a special game we're going to play with you later.
Oh,
All right?
sure.
Okay, stay with us. GSN Live continues, and Betty will be back with us again soon.
Welcome back to GSN Live. We are here with our special guest, Betty White. Thank you for still being with us, Betty.
Well, thank you for this, and if this is live, I'll be as live as I can.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Shake 'em, don't break 'em, Betty. Okay. All right. You know, I don't think there's any question that people that have watched game shows over the years acknowledge that you are really one of the best game players in the history.
I just
of game
love to play. I'm not one of the best. I just love, but I grew up. I was an only child, and my mother and dad and I were around the table or in the car when we were driving on vacation or anything. We were always playing games. So when I first started doing quite a few game shows, my dad said, "You're getting paid to do what we've done for free all your life."
Well, here at GSN, we play a game that we call Know Your Betties. And it's where we find out what our contestants know about famous Betties. All right? Today, in honor of you being with us, we thought it would be a great idea to turn it and see what you know about yourself. So now, here it is, a very special edition of Know Your Betty. Betty.
I don't even know myself when I put my makeup on in the morning.
Well, we'll see if you know this. The questions are all about milestones in your entertainment career. Y'all ready to play?
Do it.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Here's your first question.
Fool that I am.
Which of your fellow match game panelists never used your real name and instead always referred to you as Victoria?
That was Chuck. Charles Nelson Riley.
Correct, Charles Nelson Riley. Well done.
That was perfect, perfect.
Very solid. You know, there were reports and people had said for years that on the match game set after lunch, everybody throw a couple back and we get ready for the afternoon session.
I've heard that, you know, for years I've heard that. There was never any booze. People would say, "Oh, well, you always knew when it was an after-lunch show," because by that time, we were just silly. We were just nuts. And we were having such fun with each other that it was like a party. Well, you don't need booze necessarily. It helps. but we got along just fine without it.
All right. We got another question for you. Ready? Okay. Which episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show was once ranked by TV Guide as the #1 greatest television episode of all time?
On the Mary Tyler Moore Show, I think wasn't that the funeral, Chucky's funeral?
The clown? Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
You got it.
Chuckles
you got
bites
it.
the dust.
Chuckles bites the dust.
Yes,
Exactly. And Mary
yes.
got the giggles at the funeral. Oh, it was.
You know, Betty, just like a real game show, I had to go over to the judges to make sure we were going to
Right.
take that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but we did take it.
You got it.
The experience of working on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, a part of Americana, what was that like?
Oh, it was wonderful. But it was such a close-knit, wonderful group. And we've had reunions since. In fact, Oprah did one not long ago. I think they're rerunning it again in a week or so. And it was just everybody cared about the show. And that doesn't always necessarily happen.
Right.
But whenever, instead of going back to their dressing rooms when they weren't in a scene, everybody'd be hanging out. Now, why didn't that get a bigger laugh? What went wrong there? They were just, it was a joy, just a joy.
Okay, are you ready now?
No, I'm not ready.
You
but that
got, you're
won't
2 for
stop
2.
you.
You're 2 for 2. Your third and final question. Let's play. What actress was originally supposed to play your character of Rose Nyland on The Golden Girls?
Rue McClanahan.
Correct. Rue McClanahan. Well done, Betty.
You don't have to chuck with the judge or anything like that?
No,
good.
you beat
We
the buzzer on
believe
that
you.
one. You beat the buzzer on that one. And, you know, I mean, for someone who has done what you have for the number of years you have, to be blessed to be part of 2 shows, Mary Tyler Moore and Golden Girls, that is incredible.
With that kind of writing, with that kind of words to say, we couldn't wait till we'd never see the script until the Monday, you know, we'd see it for the first time and all read it for the first time. And it would just destroy us. It would crack us up. It was a privilege, never taken for granted.
Well, and no one has ever taken you for granted. Many years ago, you were an incredible player on Password, and even today, an incredible player on $1 Million Password. Take a look at this.
Container.
Tupperware.
That's not it. We go over to Linda and Betty.
Hot.
Thermos.
You are a treasure and a pleasure, and we are so fortunate that you came to see us today.
Well,
Yes.
thank you, Fred
Betty,
and
you
Kelly.
hold a very special place in my heart because of your animal passion like me.
Oh, we're kindred souls.
Yes.
Betty White, thank you. GSN Live continues, so stay with us.